Hi, it's Marieta. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's video, I'm covering E2 visa, managing my business remotely. So it's going to be cool for someone who has already incorporated business in the United States and you are managing your business remotely and you want to apply for E2. So I'm going to cover all of that. Stay tuned. All right, cool. So let's make it happen, guys. First of all, you can absolutely incorporate company in the United States, start a business in the United States, and you don't necessarily need a visa, all right? In other words, you can totally start your LLC, limited liability company, or C Corp in the United States without actually being present in the United States. You can absolutely do that. However, if you want to open a bank account in the United States, you need to come to the United States, typically under B1, B2 visa status or ESTA status. You open a corporate bank account and then you're going to start. So the question is, can you apply for E2 visa if you are managing this business remotely? Well, absolutely yes. After you open a bank account, you need to leave the country because, guys, very important, you should not stay in the United States under B1/B2 or ESTA and run your business. What you can do, hire a person who's going to manage the business for you. That is something you can do. But you should not manage the business yourself and actually get paid or even take the money from the account and use it for your personal needs, right? So if you do that, that is actually, you are actually breaching the law. However, if you have a company that is incorporated and you hire someone who's managing the business for you, you're good, right? So obviously the question is, can I remotely manage the business for a year or two from my country and then come back to the United States? And the answer is absolutely. Actually, that is exactly how I started my business. That is exactly how I started my company, right? Because in 2010, I could not find H-1B visa sponsor after I graduated very expensive law school in the United States. And after I became licensed lawyer in the United States, I had to leave the country. Yes, that's true. And because of that, I started my own business and I literally started to managing my business online while I was living abroad outside of the United States. And once I actually accumulated sufficient capital and invested back to my company, I became an investor. So you can absolutely do that. Now, here is another thing you need to consider. When you actually make profit, you can absolutely take that profit and reinvest back to your company. But this is actually profit coming from the United States, right? These are proceeds from your company in the United States. It's actually corporate entity in the United States. You need to pay taxes. Absolutely, you need to pay taxes. You need to show that the company is active and you are paying taxes. Second, you also need to invest as an investor to be considered because you as an investor are looking for E2 visa. So if you are looking for E2 visa, you need to understand that you need to meet the requirements. You need to put the money in and you need to be at risk in order to be considered E2 visa investor, because your company does not necessarily need E2 visa, right? So two things are going on. One thing is you as an E2 visa investor, you need to show that you have invested substantial amount to manage this business. The business is not marginal. Again, if you need to understand marginality, make sure to check my video on marginality. And I'm gonna link the video somewhere here so you can take a look and go and watch that video first. Because the business must not be marginal, so you need to generate more than minimum living expenses of yourself and your family if you are bringing family with you. That's one thing, but on the other hand, you have to invest substantial amount to make the business successful, right? And that is very relative, how much is substantial. So by showing that the business is not marginal, you are meeting one requirement. Another requirement is you have to show that you have invested substantial amount of capital, right? So can you actually manage the business from abroad, from your country, while you're not living in the US? Well, actually, that's the only thing you can do. That's your only choice you have if you want to make sure that the business is not marginal. Because if you actually start a company in the United States, you don't manage anything, how are you going to show that the business is not marginal? The business must be active and operational, and you need to show that you are generating profit, right? So the only way, actually, to be honest, perfectly honest, is either hire a manager in the United States, someone who's going to manage it for you, or you yourself will manage the business from abroad. And 2 years later, maybe even a year later, maybe even 6 months later, you will apply for your E2 visa. So that is actually a great question some of you guys ask me, and valid question. And actually that explains, like, okay, you guys get it, but at the same time you need to understand that this E2 visa process it's a rather unique process, in other words, right? There are like several requirements you need to meet, but every single requirement is important in itself. Is sometimes confusing, because people think that, you know, how can I start a business and manage it if I don't have the visa? On the other hand, I need to show the business is not marginal. So how do I actually combine all of it? It's like rather messy. And you need to be very careful, because if during the process you do something illegal, then it's going to affect the end goal. And the end goal is to get the E2 visa, right? Eventually the American dream, you want to live the American dream. But you cannot get the E2 visa if you do something wrong during that process while you're on the way to getting the E2 visa. So I hope it makes sense. And if you have additional questions, comments, actually I do want to show you my case study, free case study, how I went from a student to a successful entrepreneur and investor. So you can definitely check out the case study. If you are interested to learn more how this process works, definitely check out the case study. I'm gonna link the case study below this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new, make sure to subscribe so you can weekly receive updates from me. And if you like this video, please like it, share your comments below, and if you have any suggestions, what you want me to talk about, please share everything with me. I want to hear from you guys. I want to make sure that this channel is more like a dialogue, like it's more like a communication, me and you guys. I don't just want to talk, I also want to hear from you. I need your feedback, and if there is anything I can do for you, if there is anything I can actually talk about, so you can you know, get more clarity and remove the confusion or your doubts, your fears around how to run a company in the United States, get the E2 visa, do let me know and leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and stay tuned for my next video.